Hey, Cynthia.
Hi, Alexander. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Where's everybody?
Well, I'm good.
Good afternoon, guys.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, Igor. So Alan's not available today, so I'll be helping out and going through the topics in the agenda. Let's give it another minute for more people coming.
I see somebody's thrown a big list of topics. I guess it was Alan while he was in.
It was Alan. If there's something that's no longer relevant, let me know as we go through and we can skip over.
No,
I did this
some
agenda with
are
him about a
some
week ago.
are already completed, but not so many. So we may just go
Sure. Yeah, just let me know as we
one by
go through.
one.
I think because we did a little over a week ago. So at that time, some were still open, but we can make changes. Um, Welcome, everybody, to the March OpenZFS leadership meeting. I'll be subbing in today for Alan. He'll be back next time, and thanks for coming. I appreciate it. We have the agenda up. If there's something, let me know if you need to prioritize something or if you have to leave earlier. Not a problem. We can do something. I can move ahead out of order if you need something. All right. First one on here that we have is the range tree. This is PR 17094. And we're going to have Igor talk about this one. Hey, Igor.
Yeah, so actually we have at least two key points, if I remember correctly, from Alexander. So one of them is covered. It means to add more debugging information. We usually have this extra information coming from MetaSlab use cases when we provide pool name and VDEV ID. So this is what is complete. It's not published yet. So we try to report at least pool name and most of the time VDEV in addition. And the last point, which is still open, is regarding the use case idea to drop the generic one and revise all the use cases of the range tree to specific use case like allocated space like or free space like. So this is what is uh, still pending as a work in progress. And we are discussing it with the customer and we plan to come back to this PR, I guess the first week of April or something like that. So this is what we have here.
Any
Sounds good to
questions on
me.
that?
Like as you've told, yeah, I left there some comments, and that about generic is still open. So I'm kind of waiting for it to be handled.
Yeah.
Otherwise, direction seems good. So it just needs some completion.
Great. All right. Thanks, Igor. Next one, list I'm going to skip over. I don't have Rob, so I'm just going to go to the next one. I'm going to go to 16205. I think this one got rebased back in December, and I'm just looking for needs reviewers on this one. This is hierarchical bandwidth and operation limits. So just
No,
wanted to raise that.
I massively reviewed it before, and I think we got pretty close to working state. So it's right now it's actually got broken due to conflict with other merged PR mentioned below, the one before last, 17143. It needs trivial fix and then probably more reviews from somebody else. My only thoughts about it remain. It's worth practically from use case standpoint. For example, if you have rate limit, performance limit set for data set, and then you try to back up it or restore it, you will be affected by the same limit. So it may be a bit annoying during production science. It's impossible to avoid it for root or anybody else. That's the only question that I remember we haven't got to any good conclusion. So if anybody has any ideas how it could be addressed, or it has any thoughts about it. Maybe it's not an issue. Maybe I'm picky or something. Please go there and comment. Otherwise, it may just need last rebase fix and final review. Otherwise, it looks good to me, but unfortunately, Pavel is not very active to do it faster.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. The next two kind of grouped together, there's the 16486 implement parallel arc eviction and 16487 implement parallel debuff eviction. We got that updated, I think it was about last week. So I think we're ready for another review.
On the first one on arc eviction, I think we were pretty close, at least finally, after some fixes, code started to work actually in past CI that it wasn't doing for several months. It was annoying.
Yeah.
But now CI passed. I left the comments, and I think last few of them were not addressed about when a case when we have less, when we try to evict from less sublists than we have sublists total. That way, if we cannot free enough from them, we will not fall back to other one. It was Alex tried to fix it at some point, but fix was not working. Then it seemed like he reverted the fix, but he removed it back completely. But the original issue is still not addressed. So it sounds to me that it's a work in progress, needs some attention, but it's pretty close. It's like final push, and it should be ready.
Okay, I will talk to Alex. Thank you for making me aware of that. That's good to know. I'll go back and look at your comments. Appreciate it. I know the 16487. I mean, he also updated that one based on the 16486.
It took several significant refactors over the time, but here my last comment still stands. Like if we are trying to evict parallel from multiple threads, and from each thread we try to evict everything that we have outstanding, we'll practically evict everything. So I think while it passes the test and doesn't look bad, but general concept there may need some attention. I'm not sure whether it makes much sense to first, while we're doing debuff eviction from multiple threads, to also make every random threads to also be able to evict. Otherwise, we may have practically every CPU core bothering with eviction. Or maybe it's just relations of those two mechanisms could be tuned so that if we already have full house of normal eviction threads busy, then maybe others should not do eviction, or they may evict but very few entries, not try to evict again half of the debuff cache. So it's again, it's in much better shape than it was previously when it was broken for many months. But it seems like it needs another final push.
Needs more work. Okay. Okay, great. I'll look into that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next one, 16967, add native NFS v4 style ZFS ACL support for Linux. This one looked like, does it need more attention?
No, it seemed from my side, I looked at it, it looks good to me, but now I guess it's question of reviews of third-party ones and maybe discussion. Right now there was discussion between Charles Hedrick and Andrew Walker, who was the original author of this PR, about interaction with default Linux kernel and NFS and other things. So it's probably a question of open for reviews and discussions. I hope Andrew will take more active role there. I'll ping him tomorrow since he was on his side at this point.
Okay.
But great. Yeah, otherwise patches already looks good to me, but just general question of acceptance by community. So everybody welcome to take a look.
Got it. Okay, the next several tickets. So starting with, we have 17004 implement dynamic gang header sizes. I'm going to have Paul talk about this. Hey, Paul.
Hey, so dynamic gang header sizes, I took a look and made some updates to it based on the feedback that we'd gotten. I left sort of an open question about some behavior that I had question marks about at the end of the issue. So I think that this one, it would be good if people have feelings about it, they could take a look at it and take a look at the current version and at the sort of design questions that were left.
I think before we start diving into this, we should probably finish the other PR
Dynamic
implementing.
allocation size.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
yeah, that
Yeah,
one is
well,
certainly a prerequisite for this.
Yeah, so I would say this is temporary on hold before we fix or implement the other one. Then we could get back to this.
Okay. You want to walk through the other ones, Paul? We have
Sure, yeah.
17073.
The dynamic allocation sizes has been updated to address the latest round of feedback. So I think it needs another code review at this point. Though it probably also needs a rebase on top of the allocation throttle changes. So I can get to that today or tomorrow and then update it. And then after that, it should be ready for another look probably.
Yep, sounds good. I'll take a look once it's there. So thanks to you for reviewing
Thanks.
allocation throttle. It's good to see it merged. Hope it should also simplify your work.
Yep. Hopefully.
And then you have 17073.
The last one that I have outstanding is this is the bug with the interaction between gas. I've updated the latest, found another bug.
I think you're.
That I included.
I think it's either me or Paul. Can people hear Paul?
There's probably some more in this
No, you're
code.
breaking up, Paul.
I think I find like a
Thanks,
class of
Alan.
problems that I managed to.
Hey, Paul.
I'm having.
Yeah, you're having audio issues. Can you hear me?
I'm having some network trouble.
Give it a second. We can get him back.
Yeah. I'm having networking problems. There's nothing I can do about it.
No worries, Paul. We can always come back if you have something else. We'll just skip over. Audio issues are
you hear
always the worst.
me now?
It's like a delayed. It's very slow and then choppy. He's probably gonna go out and come back in maybe.
Let's move on for now. Probably.
Sorry, I'm back. I've been
back.
having some networking problems today.
You sound good.
Yeah, I switched to tethering to my phone, so hopefully this should be a little more stable. So I was saying that the gang block copies and FTT bug has been updated to address the latest round of feedback. I found another bug lurking when I did that update. And I'm pretty sure there's more lurking issues in the FTT code. I spent some time trying to write a test to reproduce those, but I wasn't able to get them to trigger, but I think they should exist. So I think this code or this patch is ready for someone to take a little bit more of a look at. But I'm gonna also take a look and see if I can figure out whether there are other bugs lurking.
Well, GitHub asked for a base, so please do, and then.
Oh yeah, sure. It's probably also conflicting with some of the other stuff. So I'll rebase this.
Okay, great. Thanks, Paul.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's all of them. Do we miss any? I think to talk about? Do you have any other ones?
That's most of mine. I mean, there's still the one about the channel program tests on Apple Silicon, but that's pretty low priority.
I guess
Okay.
it's also needs somebody with experience in the area. I just haven't looked there.
Mhm.
Never been in those all offload extensions.
Yeah.
Thanks, Paul.
Mhm.
All right, the next one to talk about is PR 17020. Alexander, this is yours, the Unified Allocation Throttling.
Yeah, unified allocation throttling, thanks to a review, as I've told, it was landed yesterday. I hope
Oh, nice.
everything will work right. Yeah, it was hanging in reviews and finishing for a couple months. But yeah, hopefully now it will work better. So far, nobody complained, but so I'm sure many people used it.
That's great.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, and then the next one we have on the list, we had 17119. I don't know if he's on. Is Alan on? You are on. Hi. Do you want to talk about this one?
Oh, this is just a total drive-by. I was investigating another bug and I found some dead code. But the reviewer, Alexander, had some doubts about whether we should remove it or whether the code might be reused in the future.
Yeah, I just looked that this while this function is not used, I wonder can there be any hypothetical case when it could be? Because I have no objections to remove this function if we consider it's not used, but then it opens few more unused functions on the next layer. So we need to figure out where shall we stop. Like again, I am not objecting to this PR, but I think it could
Well,
take some more love, just some deeper look
let's
or
just remove them
third
all.
opinion.
Go down as far as we can.
No, sure, removal is easy, but then reconstructing, if needed, maybe more complicated. I just mean it would be nice to understand is there can be there any use out of that code and other parts. Like for example, we have some code that is used by Luster and Brian and others care about those parts. So actually it should be commented in the code that they use it outside. Same here. Maybe we don't have any users in a tree, but there could be some third party or could potentially be some third party. So it just would be good to look. Is there any possible use case for those functions to maintain them? And if there is none, sure, we can drop.
It had a user in tree once, so it wasn't added just for Luster.
No, Luster maybe there was some other part, but this function, I think it had use in Illuma's debug flow and argbof, but at least Illuma's had some long code to reduce some memory copy operations, as I understand. It was integrated with NFS or something like that. Sure, we don't care much about that on FreeBSD and Linux, but again, if it's a live code, if it's not dead, why remove? Or if we consider it's too hard to maintain or it's already broken, then sure, we could remove. But again, I haven't looked too deep on general logic.
Okay. Good. Thanks for the feedback. The next one is 17130. This is the implement default user group project quotas. We actually have Amir here. Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, so it was being approved by Alexander, and if someone could take a look as well, so it would be nice. So yeah, nothing needed from our side for now.
Yeah, it would be good to
Okay.
have more reviewers. We tried to pin original author of PR where it all started. Science, he had different design. He was storing attributes, all those quotas, default quotas in different place, which made no sense to us. That's why Amir re-implemented it differently, storing quotas in more default quotas in more economical way, more reasonable. But again, it's design change or new on disk format in a sense. So more eyes would be nice. Otherwise, it's ready. Yeah, looks good to me. So
All right.
I guess,
So Colin,
guess
just
it
one
is.
more reviewer,
Yeah.
please.
No, yeah, at some point we may get tired and just push it, but yeah, it's always good to have more eyes. And that one there is definitely ready.
Okay, great. Next one on the that we have on the agenda, we have 17136. Always perform bounds checking in Metaslab free concrete.
I think it's already merged.
Oh, did it already merge? Okay, we can skip that one. The next one's already merged too. That's 17143. So Alan, I think the last one there you added 16626, if you want to talk about that one.
Yes, this is troubling our company, even though I haven't found any other users complaining about it. We crash for about once every petabyte of data that we write. And the crash always is an assertion for an invalid block pointer in DMU buff or DMU write ready. It looks to me like the block pointers are getting corrupted because this db.db data field is protected by two different locks. Some functions use one and some functions use the other, which doesn't sound right.
Doesn't sound good.
Oh.
Yep.
I have suspicions there could be even more factors you haven't mentioned there. Range lock, which also actually protects some debuff operations when it goes about complicated things like block cloning. So there could be even one more lock you haven't accounted already.
Yeah.
But yeah, I saw that question and I saw your comments on the chat. I promised myself to take a look on that, but I haven't yet. It's definitely can of worms with all the looking around.
Unfortunately, we can't reproduce this on demand, so I can't test any patches. All I can know is, if they cause regressions. So we really just need to, figure out from the design which lock we're supposed to be using. Paul, I think you added one of those locks, the DB_RW lock. Can you enlighten us when we're supposed to use that one?
I'm gonna level with you. It's been a little while since I wrote this code. My memory is fuzzy, but I can try to refresh myself and take a look at it. I think it might be something about like when the debuff is in a different state, you end up using different things to protect it, but I would need to go back and take a look at the code to make sure.
We would much appreciate that.
Yeah. Yeah, I can try to devote some time to that this week.
Okay, thanks, Paul.
Yeah.
Great. So that was everything on the agenda. Is there anything else we want to talk about or any other PRs?
No, not PRs, but I already pinged Paul a couple of days ago that we have a lot of CI tests failing lately in particularly dedupe quota. It would be really nice to have that addressed, and generally would be good to have some more attention to CI process because our Z test fails too often and just randomly other things fire left and right.
Yeah, I've been trying to reproduce the out of memory or the hang issue that you've been seeing. Certainly it's happening a lot in the runners. I haven't been able to reproduce it internally, like on my test VMs. And I don't know if that's a configuration difference or like if they have too much memory or something, and it only happens on lower memory systems. But I have a couple more ideas to keep trying on reproducing it.
Yeah, it would be good. I would really appreciate that. So it's really annoying.
Yeah, for sure.
Because otherwise, it requires some high privileges to merge patches if we have some tests marked as required, and we cannot pass even like from the fourth attempt. Pushing again, it's fail. So it's really, really annoying.
Yeah.
Aside of that, for some time I was looking into device removal code. I have one patch merged and one patch right now open. So if somebody could take a look into that, sure, it's not many people have been there, I believe, but I need another set of eyes in case I missed something since I'm not too deep there. Fix lock reversal on device removal cancel. It's 17164. May insert here on a document. So it's practically, at this point, it's excessive locking, which is not really needed, but it's makes CI complain, at least on FreeBSD. It doesn't really hang, but it may potentially in some cases. So it would be nice to fix. And also, but also actually I got there while trying to find some other issue when we have accounting problem in device removal. And I believe it right now I just got the suspicion that we have device removal incompatible with block cloning. Right now I drafted a patch to fix that. It's probably like a few line patch. But just want to say that we may have that problem and we may already have some pull corruptions in the wild that we may have to collect over the time and recover somehow. Because patch will only fix causes, but not the consequences. If things are corrupted, they are.
Okay. We have a question in the chat. The question from Michael Dexter: is anyone building newer OpenZFS packages for FreeBSD? Anybody on the call recently been doing that? No.
I'm not sure what, Michael, what do you mean about packages? But what definitely would be great if somebody updated CI images of FreeBSD, use it for testing.
That's related. If one goes to fresh ports and just simply wants to add a newer OpenZFS, they don't have an option, and anything there is quite dated.
You mean ZFS in the ports tree? Yeah, that's definitely would be nice to update. Maybe you could ask Martin, since he's updating ZFS in a base tree. Maybe he could also same time update ports, since he's running testing. He would just need to take that commit hash, use it for main tree, and push it into ports. I was thinking do it myself at some point, but never got to it. Or maybe
Understood.
I updated it sometimes, but too long ago. But yeah, maybe Martin could do it since he's updating. But I was thinking about different issue we have with FreeBSD. We have CI using some VM images, which are almost normal FreeBSD images, except with some small tunings, something related to network driver and serial console, something like that. I don't know if it's possible to switch to our normal FreeBSD's normal images would be the best thing to do, because images we have right now, they were not updated for several months, and whatever current, call it 15 current there, it's from January or December, it's pretty stale and actually failed in tests because of FreeBSD bugs that I actually fixed by long ago, but not updated.
Is that different from the weekly snapshot and VM images?
Unfortunately, yes.
Oh,
I
can
think
you drop
we
a
have
link to the CI images, please? Because I'm tracking something else.
It's somewhere in on GitHub. It's if you look on CI points to another GitHub repo where those images lay, and I don't remember whether there was mentioned what exactly changed, but
okay,
I can't recall out of my head. It would need. But if you look into OpenZFS CI, it has reference to GitHub account where it takes them.
Okay.
To be really good to test newer images. I recently had to remove a couple of FreeBSD versions since practically they old one got out of support. We don't really need them. But generally, we need to reduce number of images we are testing, because right now, at times, CI is built 24/7 for several days. We really have no enough resources to run all the tests we want. So one side, we could reduce number of platforms. Another side, we could try to optimize the tests. I saw some tests on FreeBSD 15 since it's using debug kernel, it's running slightly slower on some tests. I was trying to investigate, but haven't got too far. There was distracted by other things. But if somebody have a wish to take a look on CI performance, would be nice to find some tests that take the most time and try maybe to optimize. Maybe they spend time that's really don't need to be spent. Because right now, CI run, even when not busy, takes about 3 to 4 hours, which is too long for active development. You drop something, you practically go to bed until next day. You see that something was broken. That's not very pleasant.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Michael's also asking, can you share the exact link if possible?
And that's
Yeah,
off
if
GitHub CI or somewhere else? I'm missing something.
it's OpenZFS GitHub CI. Yes, if you give me a
Okay,
minute, I'll find the link. If somebody has other topics, meanwhile.
Is there any other topics to discuss to the team?
The summit is
Alexander-
tentatively October 25th-ish, that Saturday through Tuesday, but we're waiting on a key developer to report back if that works for them.
Okay, it's good to know they're tentative.
Is that in San Francisco again or somewhere else now?
That's looking like Portland, Oregon, given that it worked reasonably well last time. Thank you, Alexander, for being there, and Paul, I believe you were there. Alex, maybe?
I sent link to the chat. Not this chat, but Slack.
Cool, thank you.
So that's a link where we're taking them now. But I would be happy to take them from normal FreeBSD repo, if possible.
I'll just put it here for academic reasons. Cool.
Great.
So previously they were updated by Milk, but he seems to be offline for last couple months. I haven't seen him active.
There was an update.
Okay.
Sorry?
Milk updated his repo 3 days ago.
Really? Script.
Anything else?
Indeed, March 22nd. Well, that's great. Maybe that's really
Hopefully
close. Maybe just CI needs to be updated.
Hmm.
Yeah, but it still it would be great to use normal FreeBSD images to not depend on somebody doing it manually. Because especially for FreeBSD 15 current, we would benefit to have really recent version rather than a couple months old. So it would be good if somebody dive into that. But even just updating to the March 22nd will be great.
I vaguely remember when I was reviewing the CI stuff that Tino had to stuff some stuff into his images, and that's why we had to run from his repo. But yeah, I totally agree. If we could use the official images, that'd be the best.
All right. So the next OpenZFS leadership meeting will be April 22nd. It'll be 1 p.m. Eastern time. Just kind of a heads up on that. And then like we just discussed earlier, the summit looks like it's a tentative for October 25th, Saturday to Tuesday, but still confirming on that. It's Portland, Oregon.
Yes,
All right.
and I tried the link from the wiki, and it seems that the old Zoom link is there, and I don't know who controls that the calendar that's linked. Let me try to drop that link here, and I don't know who's maintaining it, so I can't fix it in the wiki.
So it sounds like I could just give you there's a new link.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Here. I could just put it in the chat right now for everybody.
Oh, sure,
here.
please.
Let me do that.
New Zoom link or calendar link? Because the calendar seems to be the problem.
This is to the agenda, to the calendar. Is that what you were looking for, where we do the agenda?
Well, let me show you what's
This will
published.
get you to that.
Okay.
Sure.
Here is the wiki page for the leadership meeting, which has a calendar link, and the calendar link appears to be wrong.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to get that fixed.
So I don't know who
See-
owns the calendar.
That
See,
Go ahead.
calendar is maintained by Alan. At least he's collecting emails to
Got it.
update the calendars if needed.
Okay, cool.
So you
I
may
think
contact
the old
Alan.
calendar event was created by someone at Delphix many moons ago, and I don't think it's been being updated there at all. Especially because I don't even know if Delphix Zoom links still work since they were acquired since the Perforce acquisition.
It certainly didn't work at 1 o'clock today Pacific. So okay,
Yeah.
maybe I'll see about doing the wiki. Maybe it could include the proper calendar link if there is. Okay, I'll investigate. Thank you.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Sure.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you for attending. Have a great rest of your week. All right. Bye-bye.
See you.
Take care.